Oh, you guys are probably gonna laugh, and I welcome it, but the current tripod is a puzzle box. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. We're gonna shift to the right there, your left. Welcome to Nixie Bobs. So we are here because it's Saturday. It's the first Saturday of this half of the series that I've gotten to review a Thunderbirds I'll Go episode. I'm very, very excited about getting to do this on the day with you guys. It just hasn't happened this series yet, but it's happening today. And the episode we had, if I can get it up, get the notes up that I took this morning, was Home on the Range. And I have to be honest, I wasn't really expecting much from it. I thought it was going to be kind of a bit cheesy, kind of a bit silly, kind of a bit, I thought it was going to be the one that was going to let down the good run that we've had. Actually, I completely and utterly abolish all of that because I was completely wrong to even think that. So it starts out with a little training course. Brains and Grandma Tracy are testing out these gloves. And I did think that all of this training was going to come in useful somewhat in the gecko gloves, that was it. Useful in the middle to end part of this episode. The only thing that came in useful middle to the end of this episode was Max. Brains sends Max in the middle of the training to try and make it a little bit harder because they're all having too much fun. And he goes crazy and no one knows why. And there's this scene at the end where you're staring at Max and you're thinking, you're not quite fixed, are you, mate? Turns out everyone's just had a vacation / holiday, we call it in the UK, to a range that was owned by the Tracy brothers' mother. They're on holiday, they're all just sitting there, just being normal, I suppose, as normal as you can be when you're international rescue, when there's an intruder detected. So Kaya takes Thunderbird's shadow to look at it. Power goes out in the craft. She nearly falls to her death. Thankfully she doesn't. Fab 1 also goes to assess the same situation because Penelope and Parker are there. Fab 1 also suffered the same fate. So KO, Parker and Penelope go into the mountains. They're sort of, investigating things. And they find a pit. And who's down there? But Kat Kavanagh, the one who was insulting them a few minutes before on the news, on the weird plasma holographic TV thingamajig. I don't know why she's there though. We're going to discuss the moment where everyone tries to launch their crafts at the end because quite frankly I replayed it about 3 times because it made me die. So the crafts don't work, so they take, and I think every vintage fan everywhere marked out for this moment, good old-fashioned hover bikes. They even had that quilted red seat. I just looked at it, I was like, hover bikes, hover bikes, hover bikes, hover bikes. It was just an amazing little addition. Thank you so much for putting that in, guys, seriously. So Scott goes in first and finds that she's obviously poor old cat and she's trapped right under rocks. He finds another entrance, Virgil goes in there. Now, quite why Virgil didn't have all his mechanics on, I'm not sure. I guess if it's connected to Thunderbird 2, then maybe it didn't work due to the power outage. Probably something along those lines, right? So Brains and John stay back at the ranch to work on the tech failures. And it's at this point that I start to really think that Max has been compromised. I was expecting Max to go haywire and explode. Time ago, I quite would have liked him to explode and be permanently erased from the series. And now he can kind of stay, I'll deal with him. So John stays and works on digital stuff. Brains finds the mechanic right near all their crafts. He hasn't laid a finger on the crafts. Right in their ranch. They didn't know about it. But the point is, he's right near Thunderbirds 1 and 2, and he doesn't even lay a finger on them. It's the first thing you'd do. I know he's trying to build some kind of super laser, but still, you'd want the crafts. You'd want Thunderbird 1 and 2. Or at least Thunderbird 1 or 2, and preferably both, but you'd want to take the crafts. Wouldn't you? Surely someone would want to take the crafts. We also see Fab 1 being vandalised by Virgil and Scott as he goes to, or was it Parker that did it? I'm not sure. Either way, someone robs the seat from Fab 1. Bless its heart, I'm sure we can fix that. But meanwhile, Brains goes up against the mechanic and God has he got balls. He's really ballsy in this episode. And you know what it reminded me of when he was sitting there going up against him? I want to say Intruders, Desperate Intruder. Where Brains is, I've done this one I think, where Brains has got his head buried neck deep in the sand and he's like, oh, water. Like one of my favourite episodes ever purely because of Brains. And I just had this moment of that, it's like the retaliation of Brains saying, you know what, I ain't that helpless, I can talk for myself. Still stammers his way through it, which I like. So they seem to be upping the stammer, which is something that's important to me as Brains. So John manages to find out that something's wrong. EOS is working on Earth with John somehow. But meanwhile, Grandma's also gone up there to go and see what Brains is doing. Now, old school Grandma Tracy would never, ever have climbed hands and knees across a ladder like that. So John has to get Eos' help in sending a message to Brains to know that Grandma's coming out, because obviously if Mechanic gets her, she probably is the one character in the show that could be defined as helpless. And, you know, he would threaten her life against Brains, and he'd make Brains do whatever the hell he wanted. So Brains manages to get a message to Grandma. It's like every third word he's telling her to basically disconnect the Mechanic's power, because he's always like charged into everything, which I always still think is super cool, by the way. So Grandma Tracy manages to follow Brains' lead. She pulls all his cables out, resets the whole thing, resets Max at the same time. Max goes in to help. And it's at this point that John goes up to help as well, and John's got balls as well. Hey, no one calls her Grandma unless you're family. He just had the most epic one-liner in there, and he meant every word. It was a brilliant little moment from John. I liked him coming in, telling the Mechanic what's what. He's also never got to go toe-to-toe with the Mechanic either. He's always been with everybody else. Meanwhile, everyone else is helping get Kat Kavanagh out. Everyone else has got lines and pulleys. Everyone pulls at the same time. Scott pulls her out, brings her back up on the cable as all the power and everything and all their communications and whatnot have been restored. Woohoo! So Kat Kavanagh's saved, but unfortunately the Mechanic manages to actually run away from the scene and get away. KO tries to pursue, but they say no, because obviously you don't know what he's got planned, what he could have up his sleeve. He might try and knock her out of the sky and murder her. It definitely seems like he wants something to do with Brains. As I said before, I just hope it doesn't turn out that he's Brains' dad, because that would be, to me, the epic epitome of the word lame. I would not enjoy that at all. Or like a brother, or something like that. You got to think of something a bit more epic there, guys. Come on, don't cop out on me. So the ending scene, we see obviously Kat Kavanagh. I don't know if she's broke one or both legs. She sat there, and Scott's saying, you can ask us whatever you want within reason. We're not who you said we were on the TV. So she, obviously, then everyone goes into normal mode. You've got the two younger brothers arguing, which is quite, I thought that was quite adorable, actually. And the one thing that I did notice was there was a specific placing of John Tracy standing with his hand on the chair. But I just had a flashback to some of the older photos I've seen there. I was like, oh, they put that there for us. I liked that. Big question still unanswered though, isn't it? What the hell was Kat Kavanagh doing in that bloody valley in the first place? Why was the Mechanic even there? How did they not even know that he was literally right beneath their noses? Bit of a security failure there. It's got to be said, I said it on Twitter, they go on holiday and Grandma Tracy is still in the bloody onesie. The opener with KO, where she's running to go and catch up to everyone else, it was very Tomb Raider. I had these just flashbacks to moments of Angelina Jolie in the Tomb Raider movie one, but also in the games that I used to play when I was little. It was exactly like it to me, and I'm not quite sure why. Especially the moment at the end where she freezes and disconnects. Is it Max? When Max kind of goes crazy, and she has to stop him, and his hand stops right there. It was exactly like Simon in Tomb Raider 1 in the Angelina Jolie movie. I was like, oh, are they paying homage to that? Because, you know, the Alicia Van Dicker version, if I've got her name right, and I really apologise if I haven't, looks so cool. I'm totally into seeing that next year. If John's on Earth, who's monitoring space transmissions? I guess it's Eos. And John has a new outfit. Did you like John's snazzy new shirt and jeans combo? It's the first time we've seen that one. Is it? Sometimes I get these things wrong. Did you also notice Virgil is left-handed like me? I'm ambidextrous, but I'm primarily left-handed. But a lefty. You knew when Kat Kavanagh and the Mechanic and the Hood were mentioned at the start of the episode that he was going to bear something in this episode, didn't you? As soon as it was said, we're all sitting there going, all right, you just gave the game away, guys. We totally know what's coming now. I kind of was expecting it to be Hoodie Boy as well, but I don't mind that it was only the Mechanic. The best moment of the episode, and probably the best moments of one of the series, Thunderbirds are... oh, come on. And then the face palm from Scott Tracy. Whoever made that up, whoever decided that that was a good moment, good on you, you little blooming genius. It was hilarious. I laughed so hard. It was brilliant. It was so brilliant. In the old series, it would have been Thunderbirds are... It was all about the hover bikes, wasn't it, guys? Come on, those old-fashioned, red, quilted, seated hover bikes. I do love an all-in episode, as I call it. And I mean, this was literally... everybody was in it. Every single relevant member of International Rescue was involved in this episode. And just to make another point, how odd was it that I mentioned just yesterday, where's the Mechanic been? And suddenly, oh, coincidence, he pops up in this episode. The last few weeks' episodes, I've had a hard time keeping up with them because I tend to sit down and write the review as I'm watching. But everything's been so fast-paced and so exciting and so boom, 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 boom that I've literally at times just had to sit there and pause the episode to catch up. They've all been so good and so well produced and so exciting to watch. They've really been stepping up the game. And as I said to you, I think from the start of this series, that it's definitely made me want to get involved with it again, and it's made me excited about it. So that was, what was it called? Home on the Ranch, right? I gotta go through it. Home on the Ranch. Yes, Home on the Range. That was today's episode. I love getting to do this for you guys today. This was great. Probably have to go back to being Monday next week, but at least we got to do one day or one episode where it's on. Maybe I'll do it on the Christmas episode if they do a Christmas episode. Thanks everyone for being here and watching another episode of Thunderbirds with me. I would love you to subscribe to the channel. You don't have to. There is no pressure whatsoever. If not, like, comment. Did I miss anything? Was there any other old elements that I missed? I'd love for you to tell me if I did miss something. If not, I will see everyone again for more Thunderbirds. You've got to start suggesting me stuff to do for Christmas episode of Thunderbirds. Bye everyone.